Hi, friends. So, Djokovic versus Zverev, not the way anyone would have wanted the match to end. Unfortunate for Djokovic and the fans and the crowd as well, because they could not see the complete match. We'll analyze the first set, which was a competitive one. It lasted more than 1 hour, and some interesting tactics used by Djokovic in that match in the first set, which I thought is something that he could definitely use in future against the likes of Zverev and Sinner as well as Alcaraz. So let's see how it goes. But something new that I saw today in Djokovic's game. So let's get started. So talking about the key factors, as we all know, Djokovic was clearly injured. He was carrying that injury from the last match against Alcaraz, and he skipped the training for the last couple of days. Today also he trained a little bit just before the match, but from the beginning it was clearly evident he was not showing any emotion. He was not into the match. Looked like he was just trying to somehow get through it. In the first set, I think his first percentage was really low. Overall, I think in the first set it was 54%. But initially, when he started the match, it was way lower. I think for the first two or three games, he hardly made one or two first serves. And because of that, obviously, there was a lot of pressure on his serve. But some interesting tactics that he used was to have more variety in his game. So he was not the usual Djokovic who is good from the baseline, who is hitting forehands and backhands. No, he was using slice a lot, and he was trying to change direction with the slice to outmaneuver Zverev and then create an opening. And then he was being a little bit aggressive. I think that's the best way to play against the likes of Zverev and Sinner and Alcaraz going forward for Djokovic, because he cannot go all out, because that's not his natural style of play. He cannot go for a winner every time. He cannot come to the net every time, again, because that's not his natural style. But what he can do is he can selectively choose the moments to be aggressive, and the other times he could use this variety, the use of slice, just to out position the opponents and make them bend to hit the ball, not allowing them to hit a winner and then getting set for his next shot. I think that would be the strategy going forward for Djokovic if he has to win a Grand Slam, because obviously the level of play that he has to possess to beat the likes of Alcaraz and Sinner back to back, probably to win another Grand Slam, it is going to be really difficult to do that. Now his game is there. That's the positive. He was able to hit good forehands, good backhands. His serve was working prior to this match, and his movement was also good prior to the injury. But even after the injury, I thought he was moving well, better than most of the other players. So I feel that the only thing that could stop him from winning a Grand Slam is the game that he plays, right? The style of game that he plays, because of his ranking, the seeding, and him not participating in multiple tournaments, it's always going to be difficult, because he would face some of the other big player in the quarterfinals or the semifinals, and then he has to win that match and sustain his fitness to win the next match and probably win the final against someone like Sinner, right? So it's very difficult to do in a Grand Slam in best of five sets. So, like the other players, Nadal, Federer, all of them adapted to this situation. They all faced the situation and they became more aggressive, right? Try to finish the points as quickly as possible. We saw Nadal do that at the US Open in his last 3 or 4 years of playing, right? He was very aggressive, trying to finish the point, taking the initiative all the times. So I think the same thing Djokovic also needs to impart in his game as he moves towards the end of his career. I think he still has a great chance to win another Grand Slam, but it won't be that easy. Now, it's also important to mention Zverev's patience and focus, because this is something that we saw lacking in Alcaraz's game in the last match, where he saw Djokovic struggling and could not understand how or what he should do in that situation. He should have clearly stayed more aggressive and played his natural game, which is to be aggressive, right? But maybe, as he clearly mentioned, he was disrupted and he thought maybe to push more and play some defensive style of tennis or circumspect style of tennis, which did not work out. But Zverev, on the other hand, he was calm, he was composed, he did not make many errors, he was just reacting to what Djokovic was throwing at him. Zverev was serving well, and I thought in the tiebreak also he played well. Even Djokovic played a good tiebreak until the last point where he missed a simple volley, but there was a huge lob that he made within that tiebreak that was amazing, and the service also was working towards the later part of the first set. But overall, I feel the match was well poised. If Djokovic would have been able to continue, the match would have been close. But again, it was not to be. Talking about the match statistics. So as I mentioned earlier, the serve percentage was 54% for Djokovic, as you can see, and the second serve points won, and the percentage is also lower as compared to Zverev. I feel that and if you look at the winners and unforced errors, it's not mentioned here, but the ratio for winners and unforced errors was clearly negative for Djokovic. I think he hit around 11 winners and made 16 errors, while Zverev was obviously positive in the winners to unforced errors department. Now, the interesting thing that I wanted to mention, as I already told, is the tactics that Djokovic used. So this is just an example that you can see Zverev is standing. He is waiting for a backhand from Djokovic, and usually Djokovic's style of play is very plain, I would say. And in these situations, Djokovic would probably, if he was fully fit and not trying new things, he would have hit a cross-court backhand, a topspin backhand, and the rally could have continued for another 15 shots, 20 shots. And again, so all of that takes a toll on Djokovic's fitness. So it was good to see him use different things like the slice, slow and low slice, and changing direction with it, which kept Zverev on the move and did not allow Zverev to attack. So the only thing that was missing from Djokovic was, I thought he should have been more aggressive. So he could use these slices within the points, but then at some point he has to be the one who takes the initiative and goes for a winner. I felt that he had a break point, I think, at 5 all, where he did not go for a winner. He did not play aggressive. He was just trying to sort of stay in the rally and let Zverev miss. And it did not happen. Zverev was able to hit a winner and control the point. So something on the mindset maybe where he needs to be more aggressive and needs to take the initiative himself. But other than that, I felt that this tactic could actually help him in future to keep his opponents moving, especially Sinner and the likes of Alcaraz. I mean, they don't really want to uh, play this slow and low sort of tennis. At least Sinner doesn't want to play like that. So definitely something that Djokovic could use in future. But overall, a good match from Zverev, and finally, he is able to make it through to another Grand Slam final where he plays Sinner now, and that's not going to be an easy match for him. But he's playing well, he is serving well, he is fitter, he'll get some more time to rest. So let's see what happens in the final, and thanks for watching.